Sri Guru Charitre, Chapter 3. Reasons behind Sri Hari's incarnations. This chapter describes how Lord Sri Hari, in order to save his devotee King Ambarisha from the wrath of sage Durvasa, draws upon himself the curse which Durvasa intended to pronounce against Ambarisha. As a result of Durvasa's curse, Sri Hari had to take repeated incarnations on earth, which, in a way, was the greatest blessing to the world. Namdarak prayed to Siddhayogi to accept him as his disciple. He pleaded, "Pray, enlighten me more and fully on Guru Leelas. Also, let me know about your way of life, what type of food you take, etc." The Siddhayogi said, "Unceasing remembrance of Guru Nath's glory, chanting of Guru Nath's name, and reading and rereading, that is Parayana of Guru Charitra, which recounts the Leelas of Guru Nath, are my sole sustenance and very way of life." He showed him the bundle of palm leaves, which was the record of the Guru Leelas, which he always carried with him and which was his priceless treasure. He further said, "Guru Charitra is the panacea for all the ills of the world, and reading it or listening to it, its narration will relieve men of all their mundane worries and would endow on them enduring peace, happiness, and spiritual enlightenment. It is like Kamadhenu, the celestial cow, and the Kalpavriksha, the celestial tree, and will fulfill all human desires and aspirations." Speaking thus, Siddhayogi led Namdarak to the holy Ashwatha tree on the banks of Bhima Amaraja Sangam. Siddhayogi seated himself at the foot of the tree and asked Namdarak also to be seated in front of him. Namdarak pleaded with Siddhayogi to narrate the Guru Charitre and said, "One great doubt troubles me much, and you must first clear it off for me. Why should the one who is beyond all gunas and qualities, who is formless, take form at all, and especially the human form, and come down to earth? I am unable to reason out and understand why, while men strive all their lives to conquer and transcend their gunas and take to severest penances with the sole objective of getting freedom from the thraldom of the body, and to merge in the formless God, God himself assumes human form and incarnates on earth. What was the reason for Nirguna to become Saguna? Please make it clear to me." The Siddhayogi then began to narrate as follows. Whenever earth is overpowered by evil, and the gentle and the pious folks are harassed and troubled by asuras, that is, by the demonic natured people, and whenever righteousness is on the decline, God incarnates on earth to restore dharma, to punish the wicked and to reform them and to protect the pious and the good. The devotees especially will be ever protected by God. God brooks no harm to be done to his ardent and faithful devotees by anyone or being. Let me tell you the anecdote of Amrisha, which will explain to you clearly the mystery of the avatars. King Amrisha was a very righteous ruler and was also a great devotee of Lord Sri Hari. He was a scrupulous follower of all the Shastric injunctions. Once, after observing the Ekadashi fast, on the following morning he was about to break his fast. Just at that time, sage Durvasa arrived. The king offered his obeisance to the sage and prayed that he should accept his hospitality. The sage agreed and went to bathe in the river, telling that he would return soon. But hours passed by, and yet the sage did not return. It was nearing midday, and the Dwadasi hours were passing away. Unless Amrisha broke the fast before Dwadasi hours passed away, the fruits of the Ekadashi fast would be lost altogether. Consulting his priests, he sipped a little water, taking the Lord's name. The fast was thereby symbolically broken, yet without actually any food being taken. The sage returned after midday. He was furious that the king had taken something, though it be just water without having offered him any food. In his fury, he was about to curse the king. Just at this juncture, as Ambrisha was all the time praying and was totally absorbed in the thought of Lord Sri Hari, the latter appeared and told Durvasa that he might curse him, that is, Sri Hari, instead of cursing Ambrisha, his devotee. Durvasa foresaw how immensely the curse was going to benefit the world and pronounced the curse upon Sri Hari that he would have to be born again and again in the world, beginning with the life of a fish, and further in one of the avatars that he would have no steady place to live in and would continuously be wandering and be forever on the move from place to place, thus indicating the Dattavatara too. The curse of Durvasa thus became a blessing to the world. The Lord had to take incarnations on earth. Besides the 10 principal incarnations, he took many other incarnations which are all described in Srimad Bhagavata. One of the most glorious incarnations was that of Sri Dattatreya. Each of the incarnations of Sri Hari has a profound and eternal message. First, Matsya, that is fish. Recover the treasure of wisdom from the deluge of doubt. Second, Kurma, that is tortoise. Live unattached as master of here and hereafter. Third, Varaha, that is boar. Carry the burden of duty on the twin tusks of disciple and devotion. Fourth, Narsimha, that is Mab lion form. Let not your ego hide the glory of God. Fifth, Vamana. Offer yourself at the feet of the Lord and gain the feet. Sixth, Parashurama. Learn the lesson of surrender or suffer. Seventh, Sri Rama. What one meets in life is destiny, and how one meets it is self-effort. Eighth, Sri Krishna. Strive to become an instrument in my hand. Ninth, Buddha. Perfect yourself so that you may aid others to perfect themselves. Kalki, the 10th. Build the mansion of life on truth, morality, peace, love, and non-violence. That is, Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa. Jai Gurudeva.